you know it's the end of an era when there's a new white boy of the month. So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Zhariya Smith and I typically make commentary videos just like this one. And today's candle is whipped coffee, which is one of my favorite candles in my collection. It just smells so good. It makes me so happy. And either way, I guess let's just get into today's video. So all jokes aside and talking about Yung Gravy, he has been gaining a lot of popularity on the internet, specifically on TikTok right now. And I feel like it's mostly because of his music video that just came out for his song Betty, parentheses, Get That Money. And it's funny because the internet is finally noticing another conventionally attractive, tall white man, and they're now clinging on to him and forgetting about the last white boy they were fantasizing about for X amount of months. So this video is going to be interesting because this is going to be kind of similar to my video that I did on like a deep dive into Black women's love for Chris Evans, or kind of like the Pete Davidson epidemic video that I made a couple months ago when Pete Davidson was all we were talking about in the media because of Kim Kardashian. And yeah, so let's just get into it. And first I just want to talk about who is Yung Gravy. So you might be asking me, who is Yung Gravy? Yung Gravy, he's also known as Clancy Brett, Mr. Butter, Mr. Buttersworth, Young Gravity, Lil Steamer, Daddy Aioli, or just your stepdad, because he loves calling himself your stepdad, or just your father in general. Yung Gravy, his real name is Matthew, which is such a white boy name. I love it so much. He is a 26-year-old American rapper who is part Swedish. He's actually like a dual citizen, so he's like a Swede. Isn't that so fancy? He also is a Pisces, which is funny because Jack Harlow is also a Pisces, and I'm going to get into that later, but people are comparing him to Jack Harlow so heavily, which I think is really funny whenever you see like people pit rappers that against each other. It's just so funny to me. But he is a rapper, like I said, and he is known mostly like his kind of like trademark is the fact that he samples a lot of songs, and not in the way of like other rappers, like for instance Jack Harlow that sampled Glamorous by Fergie and then sampled it so horribly. He actually integrates the songs into his songs, kind of similar to like if you were to imagine like a Kanye West type of song where he samples just so much, and the samples actually work, and he transforms the songs. And I don't know if you know this already, if you haven't been following me on Twitter, or if you know me in real life, if you've known me since about 2016, but I've been a huge Yung Gravy fan for a good chunk of my life. Yung Gravy, what's interesting to me about him is that he has this kind of like obsession with moms. He loves moms so much.
Okay, you guys wanted the long version? Well, here you go. Here's what's happening on Mom Talk.
Yung Gravy is single. Yung Gravy is 6'8". Yung Gravy's in Birmingham. Looking for a mate. Where the moms?
He constantly talks about how he likes older women. A lot of his songs and his music videos will feature older women, and it's interesting because a lot of rappers in general, male rappers, they like to sexualize very young girls. And Yung Gravy, while he does have like younger women in his videos, sometimes typically they're not in, very sexualized clothing. I say typically because there are some where they are, but he usually makes himself the focal point or the center of the music video. He doesn't like to sexualize women for no reason. At least that's what it looks like. Also, another fun fact about Yung Gravy, he went to jail for beating up somebody who said the N-word. So Yung Gravy is for the cause. Yung Gravy is a great guy. At least I think so. He could be honestly horrible. We would have no idea because you don't know celebrities. But from everything that he has shown up until this point for the past 5 or 6 years, he seems like a decent man. So I'm willing to trust it. Speaking of my connection to Yung Gravy, I just wanted to talk about how I became a fan of Yung Gravy and why I'm a fan of Yung Gravy. I grew up in a hood like suburbia, meaning that I grew up in suburbia. However, a bunch of people that I went to school with decided to pretend that they were hood and ghetto. So they decided to, do that SoundCloud rap and I ended up listening to a lot of SoundCloud rappers back in this day. It would be 2016, 2017 time frame. And I actually came across Young Gravy and I was obsessed. His song Mr. Clean was the first one that I heard, but I heard it in like 2016 before he did his face reveal. And I honestly thought Young Gravy was a black guy. I didn't know he was white until I saw the music video where he did his face reveal, which was honestly pretty jarring. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like bad, like he's obviously attractive, but it was just funny. I was expecting an entirely different person. But that aside, I was a fan of him on SoundCloud. I've been following him for years. I followed him before he became, so can you please? Okay. I followed him before he kind of became as popular as what he is now, which, I feel like a little hipster. I feel like I constantly am finding people before they become famous. Not anymore, but when I was in high school, SoundCloud was a vibe back in the day. So I loved Young Gravy so much. I had been trying to see him in concert for years, and my mother was always like, no. And then I actually bought tickets to see him in Atlanta. I bought VIP front row tickets, and I decided to just not go because of COVID. Didn't get a refund. Nope, just wasted, I don't know, like $100 on a concert that I didn't go to. So that was so cool and fun and funky and fresh of me. I was just scared because I was like, I don't want to get the vid. This leads me on to why I'm making this video and why I'm talking about Young Gravy in the first place. Young Gravy is known as there's a lot of words for it. Comedy rapper, meme rapper, satirical rapper, mostly just rapping about topics and things that are seen as more goofy. We can love listening to Jay-Z rap about whatever Jay-Z raps about, but I feel like there's some sort of fun aspect to the idea of listening to rap that doesn't take itself so seriously. Like, what's that one song where he was like, I farted on my pillow so I could give you pink eye so you couldn't look at anybody but me. Something like that. There's a rapper that has a bar like that, which is really funny to me. And I just love that type of genre. People who I would say fall under the comedy rap, meme rap, satirical rap genre would be like, for instance, obviously Young Gravy, his counterpart, Baby No Money. Also we have Ugly God, Young Lean, D-Bangs, Lil Dicky, Joey Trap. There are so many of them. I actually used to make playlists back in the day on my Spotify, so I have like a huge playlist of just comedy rappers from like 2016 to 2018. Love comedy rap. It's my favorite thing to listen to, especially like Zach Fox. His song Square Up is oh my gosh, I love this song so much. Square Up and then Jesus Is the One are two songs that I just turn up to. Can you stop hitting me? This genre, though, of this comedy rap not taking itself so seriously, did become prominent in about 2017, 2018, which is why you saw so many of those SoundCloud rappers kind of become popular almost all at once. I feel like that Young Gravy has had so many popular TikTok sounds, like, for instance, his song, like, Juice Sauce, a little bit of dressing. Well, I don't even know the name of that song. I'm such a bad fan. But that song has been popular. Magic has been popular. He had one song which he, I believe, took off of all the streaming platforms. But Flex Season also was one of my favorite songs by Young Gravy. That song also was on TikTok that was popular. So he's one of those artists where he produces hits and it gets popular on TikTok. But recently his song Betty / Get That Money just transcended his popularity right now, and he has now become the token white boy of TikTok, kind of kicking away Jack Harlow, though Jack Harlow was honestly kind of on his last legs, I feel like, when it came to his popularity on TikTok. But I see so many TikToks and posts, and obviously I'll put them on the screen at various times, but people have been kind of having this revolution of, oh wow, this man who is 6'6" and is white and not horrible is kind of attractive. And I will say that music video, he does look a little bit more attractive than usual, but he's always looked like that to me. Like he hasn't, and now it's funny because I actually made a TikTok, I want to say about 2 years ago, where I talked about how like I was embarrassed to find Young Gravy attractive. And when I was in school, people would make fun of me for liking Young Gravy. And it's funny because now everyone is like, yeah, Young Gravy's attractive. And I'm like, I know. This is going to lead me into my last part of the video, which is the fact that Young Gravy kind of kicked Jack Harlow out of the limelight. Now, Jack Harlow is an interesting man. He became popular really quickly, and he it was his song What's Poppin' that really was like, oh wow, this white dude can rap, kind of like Eminem effect. Jack Harlow is also younger than Young Gravy. He's just, funnily enough, he's younger than Young Gravy. But Jack Harlow was seen by so many girls as, oh my gosh, he's so fine, kind of that Chris Evans effect where it's like, oh, like he's for black women, he loves black women. So many viral TikToks and videos of Jack Harlow interacting with like Sweetie or literally anybody else. People just found him so attractive, and I was never on the Jack Harlow hater side of things. I was like, oh yeah, he looks like a white dude, mediocre white man, who happens to be talented. But it's interesting because Jack Harlow became so popular, and now after, I feel like it's also partially because, like, you know, this is his song First Class that I mentioned earlier. That song flopped so hard, and on top of that, his whole album that he released, where it's like Come Home, The Kids Miss You, was such a bad album. Like, imagine hyping up an artist for so long and then they released that. Kind of like it wasn't as bad as Chance the Rapper's latest album that he did, where Kanye West yelled at him and told him that that's why his album flopped, because he can't do anything and whatever. It wasn't that bad, but I will say that that album was definitely a solid like 4 out of 10, like just not a good album. And then we have, you know, Pete Davidson, who is no longer in the limelight. People don't care about him anymore because he's with Kim. Kim dissolved her BBL, allegedly. People aren't really paying attention to him as much anymore. So now they're like, people are on the internet and they're looking like, oh, we need to find another white man to fantasize about. Well, this guy just released a song. Let's look at him. And yeah, Young Gravy has been attractive the whole time. It's just funny how prominent he's been on TikTok as of recent, and he's been more popular, gaining more followers. He's been making TikToks every single day. He interacts with TikTokers talking about how he's going to date their moms. And there's specifically one TikToker named Max Taylor Lifts who has a really attractive mom. And Young Gravy has made jokes that him and his mom are like together, which, you know, isn't true. But Young Gravy is just an artist who isn't, you know, doesn't take himself too seriously.
Hi, I just saw your video and it made me laugh, but it also made me want to say that I'm sorry for your loss, and same to anyone who's lost a parent. But on the bright side, I got a good feeling that my pops made it up there, and if you did, your mom is not lonely. He's definitely putting in work.
He seems to have fun. I remember back in his old days, he used to bring like whole rotisserie chickens on the stage, and he's just so goofy and funny, and I love that about him. But either way, let us wrap up this video. It's kind of a short one, but I've been posting a lot of long videos recently, so this is kind of fun for me. I've like had a video idea to talk about the evolution of Young Gravy for so long. I might still do that, but it's been in my notes literally since 2019. Yeah, since 2019 it's been in my notes. So we'll see if I ever make a video about Young Gravy like fully. But my final thoughts: there's always going to be a white boy of the month, or white boy of the season, or white boy that we're currently obsessing about. And, you know, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that it's just funny how cyclical. We always find some not mediocre, but we always find some white man. Like, I remember when Logan Lerman was top tier, Dylan O'Brien as well. The guy who plays, what's his name in Stranger Things? Jonathan. People are obsessed with Jonathan. People were obsessed with just any white man at some point has been obsessed with on the internet if they're at least semi-attractive, which I just find really interesting. Obviously, I'm all for Young Gravy becoming popular because I think he's been deserving it for years. And every single year I vote for him to be on the Freshman XXL freestyle because I want to see it so bad, and he always gets beat out by some random rapper that isn't even popular like him. This is just, you're seeing a different side of me. This is my petition for Young Gravy to ask me out. No, I'm joking. But overall, I love Young Gravy. I'm happy that he's getting so much popularity right now, and I think it's funny. All the TikToks that I'm seeing on both sides of the spectrum, because there's some people like, obviously he's going to be, you know, attractive. Obviously people are going to like him. Other people are like, I'm so shocked that I looked over him for so long and blah, 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 you know. But I have been talking for like 30 minutes, which is, I have a tendency to over talk. Like, I literally have plans, like I have like notes out for my videos, and I still every single time just talk over what I feel like I need to talk about, and then I spend like 3 hours or 4 hours just editing down the raw footage because of how much I talk. But that that was a spiel. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it does help little channels like mine. Make sure to also subscribe to me if you would like to make my little channel not so little. That'd be kind of rad of you to do. I guess check out my other videos if you would like to. There will be 2 linked at the end of the video. I don't know, what else am I supposed to say? I guess nothing, because my mind is going blank right now. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
You're such a great model, Bronx.